Spring has sprung and summer has come and gone, and maybe you feel like you didn't get all the projects done you'd hoped to. Or maybe you didn't do them because you didn't know how to do them, so you put them off, which is what I did. Pruning trees is one of those things I wasn't quite sure of all the whens and hows, so I decided to learn a little bit, and today I'll be sharing a little bit of what I've learned with you guys. Hi, I'm Ty Schillerstrom from Johnson County and the Prairie Masters 4-H Club, and today I'm going to share with you what I've learned about pruning trees. Materials needed: a handheld pruner. This is most often used for smaller ornamental trees and bushes. Lopping shears. These are the main tool you'll be using to trim your small branches on trees. A chainsaw or handsaw for those bigger branches that lopping shears will not work for. And a ladder to reach the branches that you can't reach from the ground. Now I know you guys all know what a chainsaw and ladder look like, so I didn't bring those with me today. When to prune. The best time to prune is when it's not too hot or not too cold, so when the temperature extremes in your area are unlikely. The exception to this is fruit trees and oak trees. It's best to trim them while they are dormant in winter. How to prune. The first step is to get all the dead or diseased branches out of the tree. The next thing you want to do is, while keeping in mind, to start trimming at the bottom of the tree and move upward from the inside of the tree and move outward. This will help you keep a natural looking shape to your tree. Branches that are below head height on mature trees should be removed, so while you're mowing you don't get clothesline. This is called raising the canopy. 4. To prevent disease, leave a collar in place when you trim a branch off the tree. So instead of trimming flush with the main trunk, leave a collar. 5. Look for branches extending inward rather than outward. These should be removed so sunlight can reach the inner leaves of the tree. 6. Look for crisscrossing branches that are making contact with each other like so. The resulting wound, results in disease and decay, so you want to get those branches out of there as quick as you can. 7. You're going to make selective cuts to determine the shape of the tree. For example, if you want the tree to go taller, you're going to cut the outward branches that will allow the upward branches to keep growing. And 8. Remove large limbs in sections as you get closer to the trunk. That way the weight of the limb does not rip the bark off the tree, which will result in disease. And 9. Don't cut the top of your tree off. The height of a tree is determined genetically, and cutting the top of your tree off only allows disease and decay to enter the main limbs of your tree. In review, the materials you'll need are a handheld pruner, lopping shears, a chainsaw or handsaw, and a ladder. When to prune. When the temperature extremes in your area are unlikely, so when it's not too hot or cold, except for the exceptions, which are oak trees and fruit trees. How to prune. You want to get all the dead limbs out first. So if you see any dead ones, you want to get those out first. Alright, there's a dead one. That one out of there. As well as this one's kind of getting there. Okay. The second thing I'm going to look for is to go from the bottom up. So if there are any trees that I don't want to get, or limbs that I don't want to get clothesline by, I want to get those out. So get all these out here first, using my lopping shears. Fourth step is to leave all collars in place as I have. That way disease does not enter through the cuts that I have made. Fifth step is to take all inward-facing branches. So if there are any branches growing inward, like this one here, towards the trunk, I want to get that one out of there. That way it doesn't cut off sunlight to these other branches. Oh, there's another one. So also, number 6, no crisscrossing branches, which actually this tree looks pretty good. I don't see many of, I don't see it. Oh, this one, alright, we're good. 7 is to select for shape. So if I want this tree to keep growing taller, I might want to get rid of this branch that's just growing down and out. And this one too. Help this branch grow up. So, number 8, I'm going to remove my large limbs and sections, which this is not a large tree, so I don't have anything to worry about there. And number 9 is to not cut off the top of my tree. Well, I'm not going to do that. So, that concludes my presentation. Are there any questions? Yeah.
How did you learn these steps? Through research, a book, or a person?
The question was, where did I get my information? Is that all right? First, I read an article in the Bottom Line magazine, which is a financial magazine, and I also looked up more at the Iowa State University Extension, and the Illinois State Extension also had some, a little bit on pruning trees, so that's where I got my ideas. Came from the magazine, and a lot of my information came from the resource. Yes?
So you said to leave a collar. How much of a collar, and does it matter? You know, does a bigger branch, do you need more of a collar?
Well, a collar, you know, on most branches you can see it where it starts to slim up into the branch. There'll be a bulge, kind of. So on these little trees it hasn't quite grown into it yet, but on the big trees you can pretty much tell that there's a bulge, kind of turtleneck. All right? Yes?
Is it beneficial to like black tar or trim?
It's not necessary if you prune them during the correct times, but in some cases that might be helpful. Yes?
When generally is too hot or too cold?
The question was when generally is too hot or too cold. So most trees you want to stay away from pruning in the winter, except for the fruit and oak trees, and also in the summer, as that's when the bugs and diseases are apparent. Yes?
So fall would be an okay time. Is that an okay time? Because then it's going into winter, and does that shock the trees off?
The question was, is fall okay? Yes, fall is usually okay. Spring is better, but fall is also okay. If there are no more questions, this concludes my presentation. Thank you.